for future innovation. Today marks the beginning of an exciting journey where we come together to explore cutting edge technologies that are shaping the future of innovation. Over the next 6 days, we aim to deep dive into the integration of artificial intelligence, supercomputing, and quantum computing, unlocking their full potential and driving advancements across industries. Let me now present the schedule of day one, which will provide you with a detailed roadmap of today's activities and sessions. The activities are welcome address, introduction of the FDP, introduction of the chief guest, inaugural address by the dignitary of the day, session 1, session 2, and at last out of thanks. My dear participants and all the dignified dignitaries, please turn on your videos for our virtual group photo session. My dear participants and all the dignitaries, turn on your videos for our virtual group video session. I repeat, my dear participants, we are in need of your cooperation. Please turn on your videos for our virtual group photo session. Venkat sir, please turn on your video, sir, please. Sangeeta ma'am, we request you to turn on your video. Request you to turn on your video. Sangeeta.
Participants, kindly mute your video. Participants,
We request you to turn on the videos.
ஓகேப்பா ஓகே மேடம் விடுங்க பரவாயில்ல
Thank you all for your kind cooperation. Let us start the program by extending a warm welcome to all of you who have joined us either in person or virtually from across institutions. For that, I invite Dr. R. Satish Kumar Sir, Principal of Sengunthar Engineering College, to welcome the dignitaries and participants of the program. Sir, please.
Respected coordinators, chief guest of the inaugural function, and all the participants, very good evening to everyone. At the outset, I submit my heartfelt thanks to AICTE for having sponsored our proposal for conducting Atal FDP on integrating AI, supercomputing, and quantum computing for future innovation. It's my pleasure and privilege to welcome the chief guest of today's inaugural function of our FDP, Dr. A. Salim Raja, Associate Professor, University of Technology and Applied Sciences, SINAS, Woman. Welcome you, sir. And I am
Thank you, sir.
happily welcome the coordinator of today's program, Dr. B. Sujata, Dean Academics of our Sengunthar Engineering College, and co-coordinator of the FDP, Dr. M. Saktivel, Head of Department of CSE of our Sengunthar Engineering College, and also the resource persons of today's sessions, Dr. C. Selvi, Assistant Professor, Indian Institute of Information Technology, Kottayam, and Session 2, Mr. Vijay Raju, Senior Software Engineer, Infosys, Bangalore. And I'm very happy to welcome all the participants to join with us for this 6 days FDP. Once again, I'm very happy to welcome you all. Today's topic, it is integrating AI, supercomputing and quantum computing for future innovation. Here, the AI that promotes the innovation nowadays, the AI that transforms all the business operations, almost all the operations and the processes by automating our mundane tasks and extracting insights from all the data sets and enhancing the customer experiences. Almost 58% of the employees, their information that they shared that says increased innovation that is happening only because of AIs and AI innovation that we can witness from our household to almost all the industry processes nowadays. Then AI innovation that not limited with the energy and utilities for increasing the energy utilization, increasing the efficiency of the grid, and in healthcare, collecting the data and giving an accurate image about the accurate information about the images, and it continues to encourage innovation for improving the accuracy, personalizing the treatment plans, and ensuring the care transparency. And dental care startup, for example, if we take Vidya Health that uses AI innovation to analyze dental images and identify issues like cavities, reducing diagnostic errors and building patient trust with accurate results. Likewise, in retail and e-commerce industries, that is transforming the industry by analyzing purchase patterns and demographics to better cater to customer needs. According to McKinsey report, companies that excel in personalization generate 40% more revenue than competitors. In manufacturing, implementing the AI into the business can result in smarter, faster, and more adaptable manufacturing. According to Capgemini Research Institute, 51% of the top manufacturers have implemented at least one AI use case in their business. So likewise, in finance also, in banking sectors, AI have utilized for 70% of the business activities. The transportation and logistics also, nowadays we can find AI innovation. AI is no longer optional. It becomes mandatory for almost all the business to innovate and compete. So here we can gain the knowledge and skills to strategically leverage AI and ensure our organizations thrives in the digital age. So it is essential to learn AI and integrate with its supercomputing and quantum computing facilities to increase the innovation further and to make our business successful. I wish this 6 days FDP for its successful conduction and wish all the participants for their persuasive learning in this FDP. Once again, submit my heartfelt thanks to all the resource persons, today's chief guests, and the coordinators of this program for having arranged this program in a successful way, and also submit my thanks to AICTE for having chosen our institution to offer this program. Wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for welcoming the gathering and provide an overview of the program. We are honored to have a distinguished gathering of professionals, scholars, and experts who are here to share knowledge, insights, and experience. I'd like to invite Dr. B. Sujata ma'am, Professor and Dean Academics of Sengunthar Engineering College, who has been instrumental in this coordinating this program to provide an overview of this FDP.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma'am.
Respected dignitaries, faculty members, and participants. I am delighted to welcome you all the faculty development program titled Integrating AI, Supercomputing, and Quantum Computing for Future Innovation. Today, we stand at the edge of an exciting technological era where advancements in AI, supercomputing, and quantum computing are shaping the future. Artificial intelligence is already transforming industries by solving complex problems and enhancing decision making. Supercomputing allows us to perform massive computation at incredible speeds, helping us tackle challenges in fields like healthcare, aerospace, and climate science. Meanwhile, quantum computing holds the promise to solve problems far beyond the capabilities of traditional computers. Over these 6 days, our focus will be on understanding how these advanced technologies can collaborate. We will explore their applications, uncover new opportunities, and examine how they can enhance and support one another to drive innovation across various fields. We are honored to have experts from across the globe joining us to share their knowledge and insights. This program will provide you with the tools and expertise needed to apply these advanced computing techniques in your research and teaching. Let's take this opportunity to expand our knowledge, collaborate, and contribute to future innovation. I wish you all a productive and enlightening FDP. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for providing an overview of this FDP. It's now our privilege to introduce our chief guest of today's inaugural session, Dr. A. Salim Raja sir, an accomplished academician with over 18 years of experience. Currently serves as an associate professor at the University of Technology and Applied Science, Shans, Oman. He is a prominent figure in the field of computer science and engineering, specializing in AI, supercomputing, and quantum computing, and Rydbergs and with us. I'd like to invite Dr. M. Saktivel sir, Professor and Head of the Department of CRC, to introduce our chief guest to the participants.
Very good evening to one and all present over here. Today we are inaugurating the 1-week AICTE Atal FDP program. On this wonderful occasion, it's my immense pleasure to introduce the chief guest of inaugural session, Dr. A. Salim Raja, Associate Professor and Researcher at Information Technology Department, College of Computing and Information Sciences, University of Technology and Applied Sciences, Oman. Sir has completed his MTech degree at Bharatdasan University in the year 2012, and he did his PhD degree in Computer Science and Engineering in the year 2017 at Bharatdasan University. He is having totally 18 years of experience in teaching and 2 years of experience in industry.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Is this audible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Audible.
Yes, ma'am. It's
Okay,
audible.
okay, sir. Sorry for the
Yes,
interruption. You
madam.
can continue.
Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
Yes, madam.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Okay. He has published 20 papers in international journals and 30 papers in international conferences. He published 8 book chapters and acted as a book editor for 3 publications. He acted as a trainer for the various courses such as IoT, machine learning, mobile computing, big data, Cisco router and switching, and Python programming. His research interests includes machine learning, mobile computing, big data, cybersecurity, natural language processing, and blockchain technology. He completed various professional certification courses like CCNA, ethical hacking, Microsoft Azure, Cisco IoT, and mobile computing, etc. So we are very fortunate to have such an eminent person as a chief guest for our inaugural session today. Thank you. Thanks to one and all.
Thank you, sir. Dr. A. Salim Raja, sir, now we invite you to deliver the inaugural address and set the stage for an intellectually enriching week. Your expertise and wisdom on the convergence of AI, supercomputing, and quantum computing will inspire and guide us throughout this FDP. Please, sir, the virtual platform is yours now.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Ms. Bhuvana and Saktivel sir, for your introduction. I will directly move to the uh, topics here. Shall I start the PPT, sir? So that I will just give you points of 6 days FDP. Is it okay?
Yes, sir, we can proceed.
Yes. Okay, so can you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I will start presenting now. I think the screen is visible to everyone. Yes?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Yes, thank you. First of all, I thank uh, the chairman, sir, of Sengunthar Engineering College, secretary and correspondent, sir, and the dean of Sengunthar Engineering College, Dr. Sujata ma'am, and Dr. Saktivel, sir, head of the department CSE, and all the faculty members of Sengunthar Engineering College. I have close association with Sengunthar Engineering College. Initially, I start my career from Sengunthar Engineering College. So thank you to everyone for providing opportunity again to interact with you all. Uh, this session, especially the topic, I really, when I see the titles, it was the current technology you have taken, and that will give you the actual input to the audience, faculty members and students. Without further delay, I just move some of the points here to highlight our knowledge. Okay, so the quantum computing, supercomputing, AI are interrelated. All are interrelated, as you all know. Artificial intelligence, especially, it occupies every domain in our current daily life. So it integrates different sectors into one. All the data can be accessed with our finger point. So how it can be support our innovations? What are the technical challenges can be? So this 6 days FDP really help us to learn uh, the major challenges, the things which we need to address. So this will help us for our future innovations. The speakers, when I check the speakers of this FDP, it includes the faculties from reputed institution in India like IIT and Amrita universities, VIT, and many reputed institutions in India, as well as some of the universities from abroad also. So this will really help for the learners to get insights from the latest technologies. So quantum computing, how it will support cybersecurity. As you all know, cybersecurity is the major challenge of today's IT world, not only in IT sector, in all the fields that we process our data, cybersecurity becomes the biggest challenge. Cybersecurity personally protect our data, not only the data, our system, our networks. So everything we need to protect from unauthorized access. So how do you block this? It's a really big task. When the system is connected to the internet, we may not rely, we may not trust our system is only accessed by authorized persons. The hackers around the world, they are try to access, they try to cheat, they try to modify our data. Sometimes we have to pay for lump sum amount to avoid those risks. So how AI and quantum computing can help us? So this 6 day FTP may help you to get the real practical challenges and the opportunities we have to enhance our future. Quantum cryptography that provides the secure channel for our data transmissions. Quantum machine learning that will help us to find the hidden patterns in the data in much better way. Already we have our technologies, but we need to increase the speed of analyzing our data, increase the capability of accessing, processing the data. So that is the major challenge of today's. So quantum computing and AI, quantum computing and AI really provides uh, the big opportunity for us. Then what else we have a challenge? If we have everything in our hands, everything, the technology is already developed, what else remaining? So whatever challenges, whatever opportunities we have, still we are having challenges. When the system, any system, it may be the quantum system or it may be the supercomputer, if it is connected to the internet, definitely we have a risk of attacks. So we have new challenges. Already we have challenges and we address those challenges using AI. When we have a new set of system, high processing, high capability system, definitely we may have a newer challenges. So we need innovations to address those challenges. And creating a new product, new applications by using these latest technology, we need a proper testing mechanism to address all sort of issues that will come when you deploy in the real time. So next I move to the hot topic of today's is the generative AI. As you all know, everybody uses ChatGPT nowadays. So the ChatGPT is one of the product from generative AI. As you all know, generative AI is not by producing the text, it also produce images, it also produce videos, it also produce codes. So it occupies every area of our human life. So when you take an example of generative AI application, ChatGPT is one of the application. OpenAI, it has a lot of products. It tie up with major companies to add the feature of generative AI. Midjourney, it creates the arts. Okay, if you can able to create your own idea into pictures, image synthesis we can able to have, and business contents we can able to create, even stories, musics, uh, even lyrics we can able to create by using generative AI. So if everything is created by generative AI, where is the human role? That will be the next question. But it will not eliminate the human, it will enhance our future. So quantum computing, the major challenge of today is to process a huge volume of data, even in generative AI models or any other our machine learning or deep learning models. It requires to process those data. We have to keep the data in the memory. So if the data size is more, we need a high capability system or cloud based system. So this is the biggest challenges. I hope this technological challenges can be addressed by the quantum system. Next is the my research area, how machine can understand human languages. So these are all, the topic of the 6 days FTP really, uh, I appreciate the people, those who prepared for those topics. Mission, how the machine can understand human languages. Now you have a OK Google and Sri, Cortana, and many devices. It can able to understand human commands, human languages. So we need to know how system can understand our languages, not only in English, and all other languages like Arabic, Urdu, Malayalam, Kannadam, and all those languages it can able to understand and give required feedback to us. So what is the technology behind of it? Very simple, that we already know about it. We have a deep learning techniques. So those deep learning techniques, the advanced models can be deployed behind of those, programs. So what else we have at security challenges in language understanding? We need a contextual understanding. For example, if I talk with you, you will understand what I'm going to talk and what is the content of the conversation, right? So the system should also understand our context while while we chatting, while we discussing, while we commanding. So that is the biggest challenge, to make the system contextually meaningful. And nowadays, when you have a ChatGPT can understand videos, pictures, and even text, even voice commands too. So it is a multi-modal. So all the applications today that requires these kind of features, when you create a web application for hospitals, it requires to process the images. It requires to process the voice. It requires to process the text. So multi-modal application is the hot demand of today. And next one is the cross language models. Even though the system and the technology supports uh, to process different languages, but still we are lagging behind of processing multilingual, cross-lingual text. If you put a comments in YouTube, or if you chat with your friends, some part of the text will be in English, some part of the text in your own mother languages, but it is represented in Tanglish, Tamil, and English. So processing those data, it becomes a challenging task. So I hope the 6 day FTP really enlighten your ideas, enlighten your thoughts, and it helps to innovate new product in future. With this note, I just conclude my inaugural address. I thank every one of the organizer. I appreciate and heartfelt congratulations to everyone for the successful 6 day FTP. So I conclude my speech with Tirukural, Thotanai Thurum Manarkeni Mandarku Katranai Thurum Arivu. So how much you dig, that much you learn. So learning is not a single day activity, it is a continuous process. I hope this will continue in your life too. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Dr. Salman Raja sir, for your enlightening address. We are truly privileged to have you guide us through the complexities of these advanced computing domains. Thank you so much, sir. My dear participants, attention to the participants. Can you hear my voice? For your kind consideration, we would like to remember certain points to receive your certificates. We are in need of 80% attendance and 70% marks in assessment, and submitting feedback regularly is essential. We are in need of your cooperation. Kindly follow the instructions and please aware of all the instructions. Thank you for your feedback. We have now entered into the first technical session of today's program, which promises to be both insightful and engaging. The focus of this session is fusion of AI, supercomputing, and quantum computing, paving the way for future innovations. It's my pleasure to introduce Dr. C. Selvi ma'am, who will be leading this session. Dr. Selvi ma'am serves as an assistant professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at the Indian Institute of Information, Kottayam, Kerala. The rich academic background, the extensive research experience in AI, supercomputing, and quantum computing. She has been instrumental in driving forward innovations in these domains. Her research focuses on integrating AI with supercomputing and quantum computing to unlock new potentials and applications.
She has published several research papers, contributed to major conferences, and has been actively involved in collaborative research projects that bridge the gap between these advanced technologies. We are truly honored to have her expertise and insights guiding us through this session. Dr. Selvi ma'am, we now invite you to take the stage and share your knowledge on fusion of AI, supercomputing, and quantum computing, paving the way for future innovation. Ma'am,
Yeah,
the virtual podium is yours now.
thank you, Ms. Bhavana. Thank you for the
Thank you.
opportunity. I'll just share my screen. One can acknowledge on this.
Sure, ma'am.
Can you able to see my screen?
Yes, ma'am. It's
Okay,
visible.
thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for the introduction. Thank you for introducing me to the participants. So now I'll be introducing the term artificial intelligence, supercomputing, and quantum computing um, with a 20% percentage of introduction based on my research that I have done. So before we move on to artificial intelligence, high performance computing, we term it as supercomputing. We just need to know the basic terminologies. If you are I need a session to be an interactive one. So if you know more about circuits, electronic circuits, you can in between you can say few answers and you can ask few questions if you have some doubt on it. So we all know that the computer, if you take the brain of a computer, we call it as a CPU. Sometimes we call it as heart of a computer. So CPU is a central processing unit where we have a processor as a main part. So processor is made up of integrated with multiple transistors. Transistor in terms combined together to form a gates, where you might have studied multiple gates, AND gate, OR gate, NAND gate, and so on, where it will perform certain arithmetic and logical operations. And we have the CPU made up of ALU, the registers, we have a memory and multiple. I mean, we can have more than one CPU running on a single device. So if you take a transistor, the basic fundamental working principle of CPU is with respect to transistors. So transistor, we have a two state. I think you can able to see this particular image where this is a transistor. This is a state, either it will open or it will close, which will represent 0 and 1 state. So this particular, if you are not able to provide a connection, say for example the state is 0, you are not allowing the current or the electron to pass through this particular line. If it is 1, you are allowing the electrons or the current to pass through this particular line. So this is how the transistor works. It's all about only binary bits, 0, 1. So if you want to perform some arithmetic operation, the numbers will be converted into zeros and ones and we are performing. The fundamental operation or the computation which is happening in the CPU, which in terms of zeros and ones, that is the thing that everyone should understand. So as I mentioned already, CPU, we have a billions of transistors and which are integrated as a gate and which is able to perform multiple operations, where you can perform arithmetic and logical operations. Sometimes computationally intensive operations also can be performed in CPU. If you see this, the function, if you see the architecture of CPU, we have a DRAM. RAM, we all know that it is a random access memory, and we have a cache memory which includes registers, all the types of registers as well. And here you can see arithmetic and logical operations. The control unit which will manage the data which is fetched from memory and how the operations are being performed in arithmetic and logical unit. So, can anyone tell me what is the need of going to GPU? What is the problem of using CPU? Any idea? What is the need of going to GPU than CPU? Let it be an interactive session because I just want to know, these are all basics. So any idea why do we need to go for
GPU means graphical processing unit, ma'am.
yeah, so why do we need GPU?
For specific operations,
Can you list some specific operations?
I need to think, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So what are all the operations that you can perform with CPU? Okay, say
Arithmetic and
suppose
logic
basic
operations.
computations. Okay, fine. Have you, say for example, if you take a machine in early 2000, if you want to play a video which has only CPU as a processor, you can see the rendering or the quality of the video is not that good. So you can see that after 20s, you can see the graphics card has been introduced where you have the slots. You can attach it in the motherboard. We call it as GPU, graphics processing unit, where it can process the computationally intensive operation. We call it as graphical operations, graphics video related operations, visual related operations. So what is the use of this GPU? So what is the difference between GPU and CPU? We'll see that. If you look into these two images, what can you understand? This is the image of CPU and this is the image of GPU. You can see here you have multiple cores. All these cores are simple cores, but here you have limited cores. All these cores are computationally intensive. What is the difference of these two? In your CPU you have here you have only two cores, let us assume, where this is computationally, I mean the core capacity is very high. It's not a smaller one, it's a huge one. If you are sending certain operation, it performs the operation. Once the operation is completed, it switch to the next operation. When it comes to GPU, we can perform the operations in parallel, which means that I have multiple cores. All the cores are very simple, which means I can just send one particular operation to this particular core. It performs the operation. Once it is completed, a smaller operation, once it is completed, it returns the result. So likewise, we can perform multiple operations in parallel, which will accelerate the speed of actual CPU. So that's a need. That is a reason we are going into a GPU, a graphic processing unit, which will handle the operation in a highly parallel way and which will increase the performance of the system, and it improves the speed also. So as I mentioned already, architecture wise both CPU and GPU is same. If the number of cores and everything. So if you remember, you might have studied computer architecture where we call it as an instruction cycle. So we give an address. The program counter will have the address of the next instruction to be fetched. Right from the fetching of the instruction to decoding, execution, and the result which is written by the operation is being done with the one CPU. Say for example, it's a very simple task. One instruction has to be executed. So what is actually done at the background? The core pulls the instruction from the memory, which will be in terms of bits, binary format. It decodes the instruction to understand the meaning of to understand the meaning of the instruction, and it executes the instruction, and finally it returns the results. So how it will execute the instruction? Where we have a logical gates to perform the operation. All these terminologies are very important to understand the quantum computing concept. That's why I'm telling you. So now the instructions are fetched, decoded, and it executes the instruction, and results returned back to the calling the instruction which is called by the program. So the architecture wise, the core wise, both does the same functionality. And when it comes to memory wise, yes, we all know that both CPU and GPU will perform millions of instruction in every seconds. But the difference between CPU and GPU is GPU will accelerate the speed of the CPU. So now we have a control unit. We all know the meaning of control unit, which will synchronize the processing task as well as how the instructions are fetched from memory and how the data are fetched from memory, how the address bus is, data bus, all these interrupt, everything will be handled by the control unit. So architecture wise, both are same. So how these GPU and CPU is differentiated? Let us consider one particular application. Say for example, you want to perform geometric mathematical calculation on CPU. Say for example, you have an image, video game animation. So this is application where you want to display a video which has thousands of pixels, and every pixel is been represented with a color, where you have RGB color. Every red, blue, green has been represented with 8 bits, which is having high intensity. So in order to process a particular image of a particular image where you have thousands of pixels, every pixel is having RGB representation, which means R 8 bit, G 8 bit, B 8 bit, red, blue, green 8 bits. So 24 bits in every pixels. Let's say suppose the matrix size is 1000 cross 1000 multiplied with 3, so into the number of bits. The intensity and the representation of the image is very complex. It's a complex image or highly intensive image. In order to process that particular image, okay, say for example you want to remove a background, or you want to identify the noise in the particular image, if you only use CPU, it will perform the operation, but it will take more time. Obviously the performance will be degraded. So what is the solution for this? So the moment when you are giving high workload to your CPU, you can see that the other basic functionality which is to be performed at the CPU will be hanged. You can see the system no longer responses. The system will be hanged. You tend to restart the system. This is how it is happening. So what is the solution for this? So obviously the solution we are introducing is a GPU, graphics processing unit, which will offload the work which is given to the CPU, and the offloaded work is being carried out by the GPU, which will perform it by using a parallel tasking, which parallel operation, parallel processing, which will return the result in a faster way compared to your CPU. So it is more efficient than the CPU. So we can say that GPU having a simpler, smaller cores performs the parallel operation, but in CPU we don't have multiple simpler cores, where we have multiple cores with highly complex cores, where it can perform the operation by switching between the multiple operations. So that's the reason we are going for GPU, where it performs the parallel computation and increases the efficiency, as well as it slow down the speed, as well as it compared to CPU it's best. Okay, fine. So I talked about functionality wise. As I mentioned, GPU performs concurrent calculation, which means it performs the operation in a parallel way. Design wise, GPU cores are less powerful than CPU core and have less memory, which means you can break down the operation into a smaller operation, give it to GPU. Every simple operation has been carried out by the GPU, and finally the end results are combined to get the final results. But in case of CPU, we don't have we have more powerful cores, so that core can perform highly intensive operation, but still it takes more time. So in order to avoid that, we are dividing the task into smaller tasks, giving it to GPU with multi cores, runs parallelly, and we are getting a results in a higher speed. That's the difference between CPU and GPU. So I have given you one simple example. You can just read this later. I'll be sharing the slides to you. Now the question comes, when to use GPU over CPU? Suppose if you want to perform a simpler calculation, you can definitely go to the CPU processor. But if you want to execute a complex floating point calculation, some graphic processing, some pattern matching, say as sir explained, natural language processing, image processing, if you want to analyze forecasting, prediction, time series, protein, all these things, protein sequence identification, all these things, you can use GPU to get the better response. The reason is, what is the invention, what motivates the hardware developer to invent GPUs? The reason behind it is, we have lot of data generated in our social media in every fraction of seconds. You are without knowing your knowledge, you can see that you're watching your YouTube by searching something. So your details are automatically recorded, your taste will has been recorded automatically, and computer automatically generates the recommendation based on your taste, based on these searches, number of how much time are you waiting in a particular website link, all number of click throughs, every information is being collected without your knowledge, and it performs the operation at the background and gives the recommendation to you. Maybe those recommended item motivates you to buy that particular item or see the video or watch the movie and so on. So in order to perform all these computationally intensive operation, a very complex operation in a high speed, it is not possible with CPUs. Definitely we have to go to GPUs. Now the question comes, can I have one or two GPU in my CPU to enhance my work? Yes, that is possible for the less complex data. When you have, say for example, previously we don't have the access to social media, only limited number of persons accessing. Now you can see right from a small 5 years old kid till 90s, the younger one to elder one, we are all are using social media sites. The amount of data that we have it in our hand is huge. Identifying a proper pattern from these data and making a wise decision is very difficult. I have a huge data. Identifying a proper pattern or decision making is not easy when you use a CPU. So obviously we need to go for GPU. So what are those application? The first application I would like to say here is your natural language processing, your image processing, and you have the algorithm or the technology has been introduced, how the human make decision based on the mistake. Say for example, the kid is playing and I'm telling a kid not to take a particular item. So first time he took, it was a mistake, we are instructing him not to take. Second time again we are instructing him not to take. Third time he understand the pattern and he won't take it. So how do I make the machine also to understand the pattern from the data that we are giving? We don't have a smaller data, we have huge amount of data. So how do we make the machine to think or act like a human brain? So we need artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, it's a technique where we are making a machine to take a decision as how human does. So we are creating a complex network. We are creating an algorithm which act as our human brain. So in order to understand it from the data, we need some algorithm, learning algorithm. We call it as a deep learning. Deep learning in the sense we are going in deep of into the data to get the hidden pattern from where you can predict or you can take the decision. So in order to, where if you look into your deep learning and machine learning algorithm, all are linear algebra concepts where you have huge matrix vectors and dimensional vectors. How do you process these vectors with simple CPU? It's not possible. So you have to accelerate the speed of the CPU. So I need GPU. So that artificial intelligence where you use deep learning and machine learning technique, obviously I need GPU. High performance computing, say for example you are working on geoscientific simulations, financial simulations, where you have medicine, genomic, drug discovery. So in every places I have huge data to be processed in a higher speed, so I need a GPU. So what do you mean by high performance computing? If I have multiple GPUs integrated, multiple GPU, multiple core, multi-core GPUs in a single system, which enhances the performance in a higher speed than your CPU, I can say a particular system as a high performance computing system. We generally name it as HPC. We have autonomous vehicle where recently the research is going on this autonomous vehicle where the vehicle automatically does the data collection using the sensors as well as the cameras in front of the driving board, and it does the labeling, it does the annotation, and we have to develop the model which takes the decision whether you have to turn left or right, or you have to stop, apply brake, when to give accelerator, and at which speed you have to give acceleration. Everything has to be processed in a fraction of seconds. So for that I need a highly intensive computer system. We call it as GPU based computer system, which is nothing but high performance computer. I hope you are clear about what is CPU, GPU, and high performance computing. Can I proceed? Yes. Okay. So
Yes, yes,
now
yes.
let us provide the summary of the introductory part that you already know. As I mentioned already, CPU is a generalized component that handles a main processing function of a server. Say, for example, booting, task management, storage, how the disk can be monitored. Your all these basic functionality, very simple operations can be handled by the CPU. Suppose if you want to perform specialized operations like highly intensive operations where you cannot run it with the single server, I need a multiple cores to run the operation parallelly, I may need GPU. When it comes to processing, CPU will perform serial instruction processing. One instruction, then next instruction, then next instruction. When you want to execute the instruction in a parallel, I may have multi-cores. Even in CPU, you have multi-programming, multi-threading, all these concepts. But still, to enhance, to accelerate the speed of or the performance of CPU, we need GPU. So as I mentioned, design, we have fewer cores with highly intensive one. But when it comes to GPU, we have many less powerful GPU cores. So CPU can be used for general purpose application and GPU can be used for highly intensive or high performance computing application. So let us talk about high performance computing application. So before that, most of them have, even if you watch YouTube, before playing a video, once you click play video, before the actual video comes, you might have seen the advertisement where they talk about multiple new technology that is coming up with artificial intelligence, data science, where you have they talk about cloud services. So one such cloud services, we call it as Amazon Web Server, which offers Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud. We call it as Amazon EC2. So what does it mean? So you have a simple laptop, maybe it is quad core with dual GPU cores available in your system. Maximum it can perform some amount of intensive application, but still my system is hanging, or I'm not able to perform highly intensive application. Obviously you tend to you tend to get the system from cloud. Cloud is not something like you remember, like you see the cloud and get it. It is a server, it's a cloud where it has the multi-processor and the memory storage in somewhere in the world, and you are paying them and you are remotely accessing the storage, you are remotely accessing the computing power of their resources. I don't have sufficient resources, obviously I have to use cloud resource where someone is having, I have this much amount of core, this much amount of storage freely available, if you want you can pay and use my resources. So obviously what we do, we just create our own system in their environment, and we remotely access, we send the code to their environment, or we send the actual data to their environment, we process it and we get the response. But what is the drawback of using cloud services? Can I access only to CPU cores, or can I have access to GPU cores? Can I use only two core CPU or two core GPU? What is possible? It's all based on our requirement. So we all know that every computer system, the fundamental thing is CPU. The additional thing what we can have is GPU, which just enhance the performance of CPU. That's it. Okay, suppose you don't have enough resource, you can get the number of CPU cores or number of GPU cores from the Amazon web services. You have lot of online web services. If you look into EC2, which has maximum more than 500 instances, one instance represents one system. They will represent one system as a one node. One node is being represented with multiple core. CPU, you have this much capacity of this much core. GPU, you have this much capacity of this much core, and so on. So you can pay and you can use it. This is one of the cloud services that I would like to say, how to get these CPU and GPU from others by paying. So in order to get the online services, you should have a proper networking online you should have proper networking, and you can access to the latest processor and storage according to your requirement. Fine. So before we hope everybody know what is serial computing and parallel computing. In serial computing, the instructions will be executed one by one. The problem of serial computing, it takes more time. When it comes to parallel computing, the instructions are divided into, the operation is divided into multiple simpler tasks. Every simpler task is being given to one simple processor, and the work will be executed in parallel, and finally you can integrate the result to get the result of the final operation. So obviously the parallel processing will increase the performance, than the increases the speed, accelerate the speed compared to your serial processor. So we have multiple parallel computers available. I just have listed one parallel computer IBM provides, where here you can see 18 processing units, and you have cache units. So you all know that the cache memory, where the repeatedly accessed data will be stored in cache memory, which will provide faster access, faster execution. So the memory representation, the storage and the computing matters to enhance the performance or enhance the speed. So if you see this IBM, we have 18 core processing unit, and I have 16 logical, I mean 16 cache unit as a memory unit, I can say. So what is high performance computing? We have seen what is CPU, we have seen what is GPU, we have as well seen what is high performance computing. We just accelerate the speed of CPU by offloading the work. If you have highly intensive work, just offload it from CPU and give it to GPU, which will perform the parallel operation to, in order to get the highest result. Now, if you look into this particular graph, the x-axis represents the number of GPU and the y-axis represents the speed up. So if you have lesser number of GPU, you can see the speed up here. If you keep on increasing the GPU, you can see the linear relationship that the speed also increases. Okay, so in order to enhance the speed and power of the computation, you can go for high performance computing, which uses GPUs. Hope it is clear. How does this HPC, how many of you have heard about HPC cluster? Have any idea about what is HPC cluster? HPC is a high performance computing. Have any idea about what is HPC cluster? Am I audible? Okay, grouping. How? Why do you need to group it? Cluster is just grouping. What do you mean by HPC grouping? HPC is a high performance computing. So what do you mean by HPC cluster? It's like you are integrating the system, right? So if you look into this, every system has its own computation and storage capacity. Now if you take HPC cluster, it is a system, okay, HPC computer, which is being integrated, which integrates multiple computer, or we call it as multiple node, with the help of high speed network, with the help of high speed network. So which in turn, where you have one or more, all the processes are clubbed together, and you have more memory and you have more storage and so on. Since I have multiple system, each system with multiple core, when I integrate it, when I give a highly intensive task, the task can be divided and distributed to multiple system and run the task parallelly. Not only the computation, you can as well distribute the data, because every system has its own memory, so which will, where you can do the data distribution as well. So we can achieve task parallelism, we can achieve data parallelism. The next one is your computation. So obviously it will run it in a parallel way. The main important thing that you have to notice, the control unit should take care of which computation has been shared to which computer, which data has been shared to which computer, which node, whether it is working properly. Suppose if that particular node crashes, how do I take care of the backup, and how do I take care of the fault tolerant, how do I uh, 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 how do I ensure the fault tolerance, and all these things have to be monitored in your HPC cluster. Okay, so HPC is a high performance computer where it performs the operation of multiple nodes which are connected with high networking speed, and which is being equipped with multiple processes, memory and storage. It performs task parallelism, data parallelism in a controlled way. Fine. So why do I need to study GPU, CPU? Why do I need to know about HPC? What is the need? Yes, I'll come to that particular point. So with the HPC, what are all the intensive application that I can run? See, if you want to do research, if some faculties are available, maybe this is useful to the faculties. Climate modeling, so that is very important. Even we had Kerala landslide, which were most of the resources are you could see how what type of laws everyone had. So now climate modeling is a very good research area where we are knowing a behavior of earth climates, including the atmosphere, ocean, as well as the land surfaces. Now if you see, land surfaces will be captured by the sensor in terms of images, atmosphere in terms of text, tabular data, maybe ocean information also in terms of image or tabular data. How do you process with CPU? Definitely it's not possible. uh, Definitely I need parallel computing. I need this GPU accelerated HPC system. So you can make utilize of HPC system to perform research on this particular area. Then the very important thing is a drug discovery to treat the diseases. So we have when you take one particular disease, we have millions of chemical components. How do we analyze those chemical component to identify a disease and treat the disease on time? So this is the another research area. The next one is protein folding. Again, treatment of disease with respect to proteins. So proteins can be represented in multiple dimensions. So if I just have represented given an example for three-dimensional structure, where you can analyze these protein foldings to identify the nature of the disease and what stage the disease it is. Is it possible for you to recover, or some medicine is needed, or some surgery is needed? All those things can be identified. The next one is your fluid dynamics. So where you I just want to computational fluid dynamics. So one such application here related to aircraft, I just want to know the wind turbines design. Is there any leakage, or jet engines, transportation vehicles, and all type of engine related stuffs. I want to analyze the fuel related stuffs and the working condition of all these parts. So in terms of image, in terms of other representation, obviously I may need, I have to see today, if you are listening to the class, if you're losing internet for fraction of seconds, look how we are disturbing. Like, we want everything to be happened in a fraction of seconds. So we definitely need HPC with GPU accelerated course. And now one advantage in recent era, now you can see for code is freely available. Like, you just have to plug the code, understand the code, so identify the code, understand the logic, and you have to like properly you have to put it in a place to solve a particular problem. So if you take science and engineering, there are multiple application: molecular dynamics simulation, computational fluid dynamics, climate modeling, computational chemistry, structural mechanics and engineering, electromagnetic simulation. You have multiple applications. So one of the application that I am recently working in a term in the algorithmic perspective, machine learning and data analysis for image, video and text. This is my part. And you have code available for molecular dynamics and simulation. These are all the packages which you can access it online. And for fluid dynamics, this is molecular dynamics, we have fluid dynamics. These are all the packages available, codes available. You just have to plug it, understand the code, and you can customize your code according to the data that you have. And you have climatic modeling. All these codes, algorithms are already available. So computational chemistry, these are all the algorithms. Machine learning, most of us, maybe students or the researchers or PG students, UG, you might have learned Python, where you have multiple packages. You might have heard about TensorFlow, PyTouch, Scikit-learn, Keras. All those things are provided for machine learning and deep learning algorithm. So machine learning and deep learning algorithm is used to perform a complex operation in computer vision, robotics, finance, even in speech recognition, natural language processing, predictive analytics, reinforcement learning. So these are all, we have different types of learning algorithm used in multiple application. So machine learning, artificial intelligence, quantum computing, all these are just the technique. You can apply these technique to any application. The only thing, you need to analyze the problem and you see whether this problem, can I apply ML technique, can I apply artificial intelligence, can I perform my computation in high performance computing? Can I use quantum computing? So the ultimate thing, you just need to understand the problem. Once you understood the problem, you see whether I can apply all these concepts into this, all these techniques into this. Suppose if you want to work with high performance computing, the basic thing, you just be familiar with computer architecture, OS, and any programming language. I prefer Python. And you need to understand the concept of parallel and distributed computing. Like OS, if you understand, then it's fine. Then you need to understand hands-on experience is needed to write a parallel task, how to even I have multiple cores. In every single core, you can provide multi-programming, multi-threading concepts. So how do you code in order to further increase the performance of your GPUs? And there are a lot of resources are available in online. That is one huge advantage that you have. Better thing, suppose if you want to use high performance computing power to solve one complex operation in your research, better you join the online community of NVIDIA developer program. They will update multiple workshops, conferences, and a few talks by the experts. If you listen to that, you become you know how to use HPC for your operation. Okay, fine. So you might have heard about the terminology called supercomputing. So now, what is the difference between high performance computing versus supercomputing? So we started with CPU, then we introduced GPU, then I introduced HPC. So I came up with the point that I can perform highly intensive tasks at the high computational speed. I can go for HPC. What is supercomputing? So HPC itself will perform floating point operation. Suppose if you want to perform petabytes of floating point operation, tera floating point operation in a second, you can use we can if the system is able to perform tera floating point operation per second or peta floating point operations per second, I can name that HPC as a supercomputer. Okay, so that's where the terminology supercomputing comes into picture. So supercomputing is an environment where you can execute your code in a higher speed. So highly intensive tasks can be executed in a HPC or in a supercomputing. So I hope the terminology supercomputing is clear to you. Shall I proceed?
Yes, ma'am, please.
Yeah. Fine. So now, so these are all some of the things that you need to know. National Supercomputing Mission by the Government of India, which was an initiative provided by the Government of India, especially to perform high computational tasks related to academic or researches or some projects or startup related projects, all these things. This National Supercomputing Mission, which was introduced by the Government of India, which provides supercomputing infrastructure. So what is supercomputing infrastructure? Where you can perform high performance computing, highly intensive operation, which means in terms of computing as well as in terms of memory storage. So now, what role the I just show you the list. This is the hope you can see the screen. So this is the supercomputing mission, the initiative of Government of India, where you can see the lower range of computation power. The number of system is 13. Mid-range 8 supercomputer has been provided, and the largest scale you can see 7 HPC has been provided. You can see here the HPC availability in multiple places. This was an initiative having a joint collaboration. I mean, jointly they have created this mission with the DST, Ministry of Electronics and IT, and you have CDAC Pune and IESE Bangalore. So these are all the invention which was happened, and you can see these supercomputers can be used category wise, R&D, and you have academia, and you have research startup projects and so on. So where these supercomputers has been placed, so you can see the HPC system name is Param Shivai, which is available at IIT Bhubaneswar, IISER Pune, IIT Kharagpur. All these things are available. Even in NIT Trichy it is available. So NIT Trichy it is Paramborul. So you can access to these supercomputers by requesting the institute. If it is education, if you are doing research for educational perspective for your PhD, you can contact them, get approved, and you can access to their HPC. You can visit there and you can perform the highly intensive task. So this is the National Supercomputing Mission, which was inaugurated by our honorable Prime Minister at IIT Bhubaneswar. And here you can see here AI supercomputer, we call it as Iravat. So this is one of the supercomputer which around the globe, multiple uh, many supercomputers has been visited, and this is Iravat ranked 75 in top 500 supercomputing, which is from India. And you can see all these lists. And we have, I already mentioned, Paramboral is one of the supercomputers available at NIT Trichy for computational research perspective, only for computational research. And the capability or the facilities available, what how much how many boards are there. Every board contains 2 processor, every processor contains 50 cores, and I have 200 boards. So how many cores are there? 200 into 50 cores. So that much computational intensive operation can be performed. Okay, and even you can write your multi-programming, multi-threaded application, multi-threaded programming in every single core to even accelerate your performance. So what all the applications right now is working on this NSM scheme: climate modeling, weather prediction, aerospace engineering, including all these fluid dynamics, all those things, computational biology, molecular dynamics, atomic energy simulation, national security, defense application, and we have SWIC analysis, disaster simulation, computational chemistry. There are many more. So cyber, yeah, very important thing, cyber physical system, where sir was talking about cyber attacks and other stuff, big data analytics, finance, and so on. Fine. So now I'm introducing the next terminology called artificial intelligence. How are we linking or fusing artificial intelligence with HPC? So as I mentioned already in the previous slides, when I have introduced supercomputing, I mentioned that there's a term called artificial intelligence. We, every human is performing some intellectual operations. I mean, every human is intelligent. What does it mean? We are taking decision in a correct way. How do I make the machine also to act as an intelligent like human? So how do I make the machine to take decision? How do I make the machine to learn to take a right decision? This we call it as a artificial intelligence. So human behavior, we are making a machine to act as a human. So these are all the multiple application where we are trying to create a machine like a human, how they are taking decision in healthcare, in gaming, in finance, in data security, and we have social media, travel and transport, and we have automotive industry. So almost in all the places, everywhere nowadays, we talk about artificial intelligence, data science, machine learning, deep learning, high performance computing. Now the new terminology introduced, we call it as quantum computing. Fine. What is artificial intelligence? We are going to make a machine as an intelligent one, as like human. How do I make a machine to learn? Or how do I make a machine to act as an intelligent person? So we need some learning algorithm. One of the learning algorithm, we call it as machine learning. So we are going to make a machine to learn. How do I make a machine to learn? We have lot of experience as a data in my hand. All these data is a highly error free processed data. Say for example, most of them are teaching profession, the participants, most of them are teaching profession or a student. You know that the a person or a student who have scored well on the past 3 semester, you could able to predict how he is going to be in the coming semester. Okay, I have evidence, past evidence or past experience. With that past experience, can I learn a pattern? So that pattern will help me to identify what is going to happen in the future, which will, we can able to predict what is going to happen in the future. So I have the past data, and these past data is the correct data, is the correct evidence. Okay, it's a correct experience without any error. So I'm giving it to the system. I'm going to give an algorithm. Algorithm will analyze the data and extract the pattern. Say for example, this is a value for x and this is a value for y. Then I can predict my z. So in future you can predict the outcome. So now, how much percentage the machine is making a right decision is all based on the experience or the data that you have given for learning. So this we call it as a machine learning. So if you are feeding enough amount of experiences, you can able to predict the right pattern from which you can able to predict the future data. Okay, so this is what this is all about machine learning, which is a subfield of your artificial intelligence. You have multiple types of machine learning. It is all based on the type of data that you have. If I have labeled data, what do you mean by labeled data? If you take a medical field, say for example, the person is I have a tabular data for diabetes. So what is tabular data? How do you say the person is having diabetes? With respect to the glucose level, with respect to the body mass weight, with respect to the pressure, blood pressure level, I can say the person is having diabetes or not. Okay, fine. I have 100, I have 1000, I have billions patient of billion number of patients record in the medical field. So now what can I do? I can use those data, give it to the system. System will identify one mathematical pattern. So what is that mathematical pattern? Say for example, some amount of 0.5 into blood pressure plus 0.7 into the glucose level plus 0.5 into BMI, which will give you whether the person is having diabetes or not. So when I have a new data, I tested myself with BP, glucose as well as the body mass index. I just substitute in this particular pattern mathematical modeling, and I will get the value for the dialysis, whether I am predicted with diagnosis, I'm predicted with sugar or diabetes or not. So this, I have a data which is labeled. So if the data is labeled, I can go with the supervised learning algorithm. If the data is not labeled, I can go with unsupervised learning algorithm, where I can perform similar data can be grouped, all those things can be performed. If I need to take a real time decision, say for example, in a chess, like I want to every reinforcement learning is, you are taking a decision, if it is right, you will be rewarded, motivating you by with rewards. If you are taking wrong decision, we are giving a punishment to learn the mistake, and you are learning it, and then you are taking a decision accordingly. So this is reinforcement learning. And you have semi structured learning. So semi structured learning, there you have part of the, it's a type of data, it's all about the data that you have. Say if you have bills, if you want to work for some purchase, like you want to create a system for a billing section, where part of the data is structured and part of the data is structured, means you have tabular structure as well as text format. So this is semi-structured data. So what all the algorithm can I use it to learn the pattern from the semi-structured data? So algorithm is just a mathematical part. When you are knowing about the data, you decide what type of data, you analyze the data, and then you decide what type of algorithm can be used to make the machine to act as an intelligent one, to make a decision to that particular application. So this is all about machine learning algorithm. Is this clear till now? Is it confusing, or can you able to follow this? Can I get your response? Am I in the meeting? Okay. Uh, can you all able to hear me? Yeah, fine. Thank you. So fine. The next is, it's all about supervised learning, and we don't have much time. Maybe it's, as I mentioned already, if you have labeled data, say for example, I have an image where I have an image for dogs and it is labeled as dogs, and I have an image for dogs and it is labeled as cats, and I'm feeding these images, labeled images, to the computer, which performs the operation and identifies the pattern. If I give new image, the pattern that I have identified, able to identify this is a dog. Okay, this is all about supervised learning. When it comes to unsupervised learning, I have images of cars, jeep, bus, and truck, and so on, but it is not labeled. So unsupervised learning, I have to identify a pattern uh, 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 to check whether it is belongs to this particular category or that particular category. So how do I do that? First, I have applied clustering. The similar objects are grouped together, and if new a picture comes, uh, if it is more similar to bus, it will be grouped in this particular category. If it is more similar to car, it will be grouped in this particular category. This is for unsupervised learning. When it comes to reinforcement learning, so now the person has been given to identify what is the shape of this particular image. So first he is identifying this as a square. It's wrong. So now punishment is being given. So once the punishment is given, this understood that something is wrong. It takes other decision and it identifies this as a rectangle. Again, punishment will be given. So it identifies the pattern that I'm wrong. So then it identifies, it just says that it is a triangle. So I have been given with certain rule stating that if this is a case and you have to identify this like this. So now based on, once the reward has been given, it means it is right decision, and like this the learning is happening and the model is trained to take, and finally it will identify the given picture, whether it is triangle or whatever may be the shape. So this is how the learning process, not only machine learning process, this is how the learning process. We are gathering the data gathering and pre-processing is a highly intensive, and most of the performance of the application relies on data collection and pre-processing. So we are collecting a data, pre-processing. What does it mean? I may have some noise, I may have some irrelevant data, I may have some outliers which is not into the domain that I'm working. So you just simply discard it, or you fix the error and make it in the way this is the right data that I can give it to the model, so that my system can learn from the data and take an intelligent decision. So you are processing the data, and you have to choose the model appropriately. If it is tabular data and it is labeled, I can go for supervised machine learning. If it is not a tabular data, it is an image, I can go for deep learning technique, and so on. And once the model have been identified with some pattern, you can test the model, is it performing correct? Why? Because see, we have multiple inventions in our mobile phone. So what does it mean? Every time you are providing some upgradation, we are not achieving 100 percentage performance in every aspect, in terms of picture quality, in terms of camera, in terms of storage, in terms of processing, all those things. We have not achieved 100 percentage in everything. There will be some error, or there will be some performance degradation also. So every invention where you have some additional upgradation has been obtained, so we have to test the model, what is the performance of the model. So once it is tested, and I will get the performance, and I'll be saying the performance with some metrics. We are not handling machine learning, so I don't want to go much deeper into it. This is a separate field. Just understand, you are testing the model. Say for example, you are learning from me. Right after the class, I'm giving you some test, you will get some score. Say for example, you are getting 75 percentage. That is the score. That is the score 75 percentage says that the input that I have given is only 75 percentage of pattern you understood. Maybe I have delivered with 100 percentage of concepts, but you got only 75 percentage of the knowledge from what I have delivered. So that is the performance of you. The same thing, you can evaluate the performance of any learning algorithm. And when you are predicted with some new data, I will say that the answer that you have given for the new data is correct only with 75 percentage. So this is how we will be evaluating the learning process. Okay, why do we need to, I don't want to go deeper into it. It's all about the steps that we have discussed for machine learning algorithm. We are running out of the time. Fine. So now we need to know about deep learning algorithm. So already learning algorithm we have learned. Why do we need deep learning algorithm? Any idea why do we need deep learning algorithm? Any idea why do we need deep learning algorithm?
To go into various stages.
Okay. Okay. So let's suppose I can consider like this. If I give you an image of apple, so what all the how the pattern looks like? What all the feature you can extract from the image of apple? From the image of
Yes, it
apple,
will be like red in
shape,
color, like some
shape,
peaches
color. What
shape.
else?
Right.
So if you use machine learning algorithm, say suppose I have been given with only two external features that is visible to me. But internally, there are so many other features which it describes it as an apple. It's a very simple example. So machine learning algorithm works on a very simple features that are handcrafted by the human being. But when it comes to deep learning feature, we can go deeper into the input data and analyze the hidden features, which in turn useful to identify a hidden pattern in order to classify the test data correctly. Okay, so I can put it in a simpler word, like you are analyzing any input that you have it in your hand in a more deeper way, which means you need to extract all features available of an image. Deep, go deep, go deep, 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 and learn all the hidden things, and you create a pattern. So these hidden things will help you to identify the or make a right decision when the new test data comes. So that's where your deep learning comes into picture. So it's all about like as I mentioned already, artificial intelligence just to mimic a human brain. So we all know that human brain, we have multiple neurons, we have billions of neurons, and every neurons are interconnected with each other. If I pinch, if someone pinch me, I react it in some way. If someone pinch you, you react it in some other way. So that reaction, how the neurons are activated, so it means the reaction is less. It means that someone have pinched and I have reacted like this, only these neurons are activated, only these patterns are learned. Maybe someone hit you and you got injured and no reaction, which means you are the the person is not learning the pain, he is not learning anything. If you are reacting for the blood or the pain or injury that is happening, that means you learned it. So like deep learning, it's again subset of machine learning, where you are learning each and every neuron in depth, each and every neuron in depth. So that's the meaning of deep learning algorithm. So which will be mainly used for cancer tumor detection. Most of the application related to image, object detection, music generation, text, audio, video, and so on. So let me conclude what is artificial intelligence. It's just to replicate human intelligence. Machine learning, in order to make a machine to think like human, we need to have some learning algorithm. So a learning algorithm, we call it as a machine learning algorithm. If you want to even understand better hidden features from the data, I have to use deep learning algorithm. So most of the deep learning algorithm are neural network concept, where you have multiple neurons interconnected in a hidden layer, and where you can get the more hidden patterns. So the ultimate aim of this particular session is to introduce a basic knowledge about what is HPC and artificial intelligence, supercomputing and artificial intelligence. Now let's come to the point. Artificial intelligence, that's just you are making a machine to act as an intelligent one, where we are using machine learning and deep learning algorithm. Say for example, I want to predict the person face identification, whether is a legitimate user or a fraudulent user using face. So now a phase of 100% fine, phase of 1 million person, I have it in my hand. Processing 1 million person, all the features available in my face, and identifying a hidden pattern. Is it possible with the simple CPU? Definitely not. Yes, you can, but it takes more time. Sometimes it hangs. You cannot perform, much delay will be there. So I need to have computationally intensive processor. We call it as GPUs. So now this is how you can integrate AI into supercomputing. Is this clear? Am I clear? Fine. So let's move on to the new topic. We call it as quantum computing. So I just want to say this in a detailed way. Let's see how it works. What is quantum? So it's all about physics. So we talk about atom, and we have proton, neutrons and electrons. So we are not going into physics, but still, when you take a classical computer, as I mentioned already, which is the integration of transistors, where it has only two states, on and off. So on represents 1, off represents 0. Either it will take 0 state, or it will take 1 state to perform some operation, some gate, some arithmetic operations, or some logical operations. We have an integration of transistor. It can take either 0 or 1. But if you take quantum computing, I'll tell you why are we going for quantum computing. Before that, let's see what's the difference between classical computers and quantum computers. In quantum computers, we are representing every operations in terms of quantum bits. We call it as qubit. Sometimes it is named as QUI, qubits. Sometimes it is named as QU bits, qubits. Sometimes it is Q alone, then bits, or you can name it as quantum bits. So it is up to you. So now, what is the difference between qubits and bits? So as I mentioned already, classical computer it's bits, quantum computer it is qubits. So bits means it is either zero, binary, 0 or 1, a sequence of zeros or ones. But when it comes to qubits, I have completely 0 state, or I have completely 1 state. In between these two, 0 and 1, I may have n number of states. Say for example, you are flipping a coin. So before flipping, is it head or tail? After flipping, when the moment when you stop, you see the result, whether it can be head or tail. One side it is head, the other side will be tail. But the moment you toss the coin, until you stop it, you may have the multiple intermediate states, which will false, which is the combination of both head state and head state as well as tailed state. So this we call it as superposition state. It can be either tail, or it can be either head. Say for example, 80 percentage head, 20 percentage tail probability. 70 percentage head, 30 percentage tail. It's a probability. So qubit means we have n number of states between 0 and 1. Those state is either, so that cannot be predicted. 0 ஆவும் இருக்கலாம், 1 ஆவும் இருக்கலாம். I cannot say it. The state is both 0 and 1. So that is the representation. We call it as superposition. So superposition, 0 and 1 at the same time. I cannot take decision. Only if you stop it, I can say whether it is head or tail. But the possibilities are n number of probabilities. So that's the difference between quantum computing, qubits, and classical computing, bits. Is it clear the difference between qubits and bits? So bits only 0 and 1. In qubit, 0 and 1, as well as the superposition, which is both 0 and 1 in terms of probabilities. So that we call it as superposition. Hope what's the difference between quantum and classical computing is. Is it clear? Fine. So now, why do we need quantum computing? I put it in a simpler way. So now you look into this. Classical computer takes the input in terms of bits, process the performs the operation, and again it delivers the output in terms of bits. But when you take quantum computing, you are taking the input in terms of qubit, and you are delivering the output also in terms of qubits. Then what is the difference? In your classical computer, you will be processing the operation one by one. Let's consider one particular application. I have to write a program to check, or I want to identify a key which will open something. So say suppose I have states like this. Let me use pointer. So I have a state like this, 0. I'm sorry, let me use pen. I have a state like this, one state. Oh, Okay, I have 1 0. So now it means this is a lock, this is a key to open the lock, this is a key to close it, I mean to lock the thing. So now I need to identify a key. So how do you represent, this is the binary representation in terms of bits. How the qubits, the qubits for opening the lock is 1 1, the qubits for not opening the lock is 0 0. In between it can be both opening and not opening. So opening is being represented as 1, not opening is represented as 0, or it can be 1 0 state. So these two are, we call it as superposition. Okay, so now I need to identify which is the possible key out of these 4 qubits. Say for example my output is this one. When it is feed into the computer, classical computer, I will check 1 1. If 1 1 is not a key, then I will check 0 1, then I will check 1 0, then I will check 0 0. But in your quantum computing, all the 4 states are fed at the same time. I repeat again, all the 4 states are fed into the machine, quantum computer at the same time, which will identify the correct key, which is nothing but 1 0 as the answer. Now look at it. In order to process 2 bits using a sequential, using a classical computer, I need to have 2 bits. But in order to process the qubits, I have given everything into a computer at the same time, which will come up with the single result. Fine. If I have 4-bit operations, classical computer, it is 4 bits. How many possibilities are there with 4 bits? 2 power 4 possibilities, which is nothing but 0 0 0 0 to 1 1 1 1 1. Everything, first it will check 0 0 0 0, it is not a key. Then it will check 0 0 0 1, it is not a key. So in order to identify a key in a 4-bit combination, I need to try 2 power 4, which is nothing but 16 seconds I need. For checking one key, if it is taking 1 second, I need 16 seconds. But if I take quantum computing, all these 16 combinations are fed into a quantum computer at a single time. So now I need only 1 second to perform the operation. So look at this. This is exponentially reducing the computational complexity, or it is exponentially increasing the speed compared to the classical computer. So in order to enhance the speed, I can go with quantum computer. Is it possible for every application? If you want to solve the problem for complex application, which takes more time, even in HPC, okay, even in a classical computer, just you go with the quantum computer, which will speed up your operation. And is that the only reason we are going for quantum computing? Definitely not. The second thing, the representation of the bit. See, in your classical computer, it is an atomic level. In your quantum computer, it is subatomic level, which will provide more security aspect. And also, if you are not able to solve few problem using classical computer, even with HPC, if some problems are NP hot problem, like you are traveling sales, identifying a shortest path when you want to travel from one place to another place, if you are not able to solve a complex problem using classical computers, you can use quantum computers to solve it, because you are approaching everything in a subatomic level, okay, in a qubit level. So now let us link all three together. Supercomputer is to perform highly intensive task in a high speed because it ensures parallelism. AI, you are making a machine to act as an intelligent one. So in order to make a machine to take a right decision or the correct decision in for a medical field or for a climatic related data, you have to use HPC to perform the operation, highly intensive operation. Suppose if you want to solve the complex problem in a easier way, okay, and also the problem which cannot be solved in a classical computer, you can go for quantum computing. So this is a fusion of artificial intelligence, supercomputing, and quantum computing. I hope it is clear to you. Any doubt? Any doubt? Is it clear how the fusion is happening with artificial intelligence, supercomputing, and quantum computing? Let me go a little bit deeper into quantum computing once it is clear to you. Fine. So now, yeah, as I mentioned, you can see this particular table. Classical computing, you are dealing with a transistor which either takes 0 or 1. But when you go for a quantum computing, you are talking about qubits. You have 0 and 1 state. We have 0 and 1 state. But in between, from this to this, every single state is a combination of both 0 and 1. So as I mentioned already, computational number of transistor increases, the computation power, the power also increases. But here in case of qubits, it is speed is increasing exponentially compared to the linear thing which is happening in the classical computer. The thing is, quantum computers in every day-to-day life by every person, like how we are using classical computer, is not possible because it is having high error rate and need to be kept in a ultra cold position, ultra cold environment. But in a classical computer, it is having less temperature. We can maintain with the room temperature. So working with quantum computers in real time right now is not possible, but working with quantum computing is possible. What is the difference between computer and computing? I am talking about algorithmic level. So making every algorithm to work in a qubit level is possible. Quantum computing is possible. So now few quantum computers has been developed already by Google. Sundar Pichai sir already have given a news on this, so you can just go through that. And which are all the application I can use quantum computing? See, some of your data runs very well on the high performance computer, even with the classical computer. I don't want to go to quantum computing. When do I need quantum computing? If I need to perform some optimization problem, data analysis, some simulated annealing related problems, you can go with quantum computing. Okay, fine. So now, as I mentioned already, uh, the relationship between how quantum computer increases the power exponentially, we have already seen it. So when I talk about quantum computing, you need to know about these terminologies. So what is the terminology here? You have superposition. So I already talked about superposition. So where the state which has both the state, it is in both zeros as well as in one state. Interference. What is the meaning of interference? As I mentioned already, the solution can be 0 0 or 1 1, or it can be in the superposition state which has both 0 and 1. Now all these things are being processed at the same time and coming up with the right result, that this is a state where I can identify a proper solution. So this we call it as an inference. See, I have all the paths to the solution. I need to identify the better solution which gives a correct result. Is nothing but my interference. The next is my entanglement. Entanglement in the sense there is this relationship or the connection between two states. So what is a connection? Say for example, as I mentioned already, quantum computing accelerates, or quantum some computing increases the power, the processing power exponentially. How it increases? One such concept we call it as an entanglement. What do you mean by entanglement? Two different states are connected somehow, which means that change happening in one state make changes in the other state. So if I am performing operation for this particular state, you don't need to perform the operation on this particular state because it will also give the same result. So likewise, you can improve the computational power. So together, superposition, interference, and entanglement make the ability to leverage a quantum phenomena. So this is all about quantum computing. I have given more detailed explanation about what is superposition, what is quantum entanglement, and I also talked about what is quantum interference. So this is all about quantum technique. So as I mentioned, what is quantum computing? So if you want to do research in terms of quantum computing, you can create an algorithm or already existing algorithm which works on classical computer, and slightly modify your algorithm uh, which works on the sub I mean qubit operations. So now I'm currently working on quantum machine learning, where I am creating already available machine learning algorithm which works on classical computer to work in a higher speed with qubits. So I thought of showing you an implementation for KNN, but time is not there. Anyway, so this is all about quantum computing. This is a way you can go for fusing artificial intelligence, high performance computing or supercomputer, and also quantum computing. So if you have any doubt, feel free to ask your questions. Have any doubt?
Ma'am, could you hear me voice?
uh, I'm not hearing you properly, ma'am. Can you come again, please?
Ma'am, hello. Ma'am,
Yes, madam. Please.
ma'am, you told that you are working in the quantum machine learning.
Your voice is slightly breaking.
Ma'am,
Ma'am, you are
can you post in the chat box, ma'am?
Yeah, that's better.
now is it okay, ma'am?
Yeah. Now it's clear, ma'am. Can you?
Ma'am, how can which algorithm you have used? How can you store the data? Because you are working with machine learning, right?
Okay.
In which platform you have used? There are many platforms. I think somebody told Jupyter and
Yeah,
somebody told.
it's like work programming environment. I am currently working in a Colab. So you can either work with Jupyter Notebook or Colab. That's not a problem. It's all about how we are understanding the computational aspects of the learning algorithm.
Okay, ma'am, but the error rate is high in that quantum computing.
Are you
How
getting are you
can
getting high error rate? Which algorithm have you executed?
no, ma'am. I'm not working. Actually, I'm the beginner for the quantum computing.
So are you
Uh,
asking how
I
to
only
run an algorithm using quantum computing?
yes, ma'am. I have used the same. Initially, I have tried Google Colab, but I have faced many problems in that. It shows many error. So that now I
Okay,
am
it's
using Jupyter
better you
Notebook.
can show me what is the error. I'll be sharing you my mail ID through the presentation. You can mail me your problem, like, and the error what you had in the Google Colab if you wish. So without seeing what type of error, I think it's very difficult for me to say the solution.
Okay, ma'am. Please share,
Yeah,
ma'am.
yeah. I'll share my mail ID through the presentation.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Anything else? Any questions?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Can you please give me one real-time example for video recognition using deep learning?
Are you asking about the algorithm?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So video recognition. What do you mean by video recognition? Can you give me, like, what is your objective? So are you spotting some incident that is happening in a video, something like that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
In
So you
previous, you tell me one example about images like Apple images. Suppose I
yeah.
give the input as a video means how did
How
it
do you
recognize?
how do you represent a video?
I think so. Suppose I will give the forest fire detection means I will give the
Uh,
one input videos.
yeah. Usually, how the video you are watching many videos, right? A
Yes,
video is a
ma'am.
sequence of an image.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Okay. It's a
you
continuous frames like that, is
yeah,
ma'am.
you can consider every single frame, you can consider it as an image, or you can see how many images are there in a certain windows size that you are taking. You can feed it into a deep learning algorithm. You have a number of deep learning algorithm, and you have pre-trained algorithms also. And then you can find, if you are using a pre-trained algorithm, you can fine tune your algorithm according to the input, and you can expect your results the way you want.
Okay, ma'am.
So
Okay.
when you want to feed a video, you have to represent the time frame. it's difficult. It is not easy for you to feed the video of 1 MB or 1 GB. So it's better you can represent some time frame where you have actual incident to be predicted or something. Then you can feed it into a pre-trained algorithm to get the results.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah.
Ma'am, actually, we have implemented we are processing many images using machine learning
Okay.
in the Google Colab.
Okay.
Now we are working the same images in the same Google Colab,
Okay.
but in the quantum environment, right, ma'am?
So actually, I have not implemented any quantum algorithm in Colab. So the my actually most of my research work related to understanding the computational aspects, the mathematical aspect of how the algorithm works. So what I'm doing right now is writing a paper how each and every algorithm works in classical computing, and I'm numerically performing the operation with some input data set, and same I'm performing with the quantum computers, quantum machine learning using qubits, and I'm analyzing the time complexity how the machine learning and the uh, quantum computing takes, quantum machine learning takes qubits. So I usually don't use packages. I will just go and write the hard coding to perform the better optimization. So for teaching purpose, I may suggest you some packages. If you want, you can give me a problem. I mean, you can share me the problem statement, and if you have doubt, I'll be definitely helping you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, sir. Thank you everyone for patient listening and interacting and asking questions. Thank you once again. All the best for your next 5 days classes.
Thank you, Dr. Selvi, ma'am, for your enlightening session. Your expertise has given us a valuable insight into the integration of AI, supercomputing, and quantum computing, and how they pave the way for future innovations. We sincerely appreciate your time and knowledge shared with us. We now open the floor for question and discussions. Please feel free to ask any queries or share your thoughts with Dr. Sabi ma'am. Already, ma'am has given the opportunity to clarify your doubts, and ma'am also posting the his mail ID to to clarify your doubts and other things. Participants, you can note your Selvi ma'am ID, then you can mail them. Okay, okay. Thank you, ma'am. Selvi ma'am, thank you for your contribution and
Thank you so
valuable.
much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Participants, you can wait for 5 minutes. You can take a break for five minutes. The next section it will be given by Vijay Raju. Selvi ma'am,
Yes, sir.
ma'am, please post your mail ID in the chat box.
I
Please.
already posted.
You have already posted. Ah,
Yeah,
yes. Okay, ma'am. Okay, okay.
fine, sir.
Ah, thank you. Ma'am, Selvi ma'am,
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, you can mail us your PowerPoints, ma'am. It will be helpful to circulate to our participants.
Sure, sir. I will do it. Can you mail your mail ID? Can you
Yes,
message me
ma'am.
your
Yes,
mail ID?
yes. I will
Okay, sir.
message you, ma'am. Okay,
Thank
ma'am.
you. Can I leave the meeting?
Yes, ma'am. You can leave the meeting.
Okay, okay, fine. Thank you, sir.
Okay, okay, fine. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you all. Yes.
Dear participants, the Selvi ma'am mail ID has been in the chat box. You kindly note of it. If is there any doubt, you can mail her. Then the the presentation it will be mailed to all participants after the everyday session has been finished.
Ashok sir. Ashok sir.
Ma'am, Vijay is in link, ma'am.
Shall we start, sir?
Madam. Yes, ma'am. Shall we start the next section? Vijay is in link. Vijay is already present in the link, ma'am, in the meeting.
Just a minute, sir.
Dear participants, session 1 feedback link has been posted in the chat box. Kindly fill your feedback on session 1. Welcome, Mr. Vijay.
Yeah, hi sir, how are you?
Fine, Vijay.
Okay. Shall we start or we will wait for some time for others to join?
Wait for 2 minutes. Let them
Okay.
fill the feedback form. Okay, fine.
Yeah, sure. Okay, sir.
I invite Ms. Kalaivani, Assistant Professor, CSE, to introduce our chief guest, Mr. Vijay Raju.
We are now entering the second technical session of this program, focusing on harnessing AI, supercomputing, and quantum computing for breakthroughs in technology. This session aims to explore how these advanced computing technologies can be leveraged to drive transformative innovations across various domains. To guide us through this insightful session, we are honored to have a distinguished expert, Mr. Vijay sir, who has made significant contributions in the field of technology. Mr. Vijay sir is currently working as Senior Software Engineer at Infosys Private Limited, Bangalore. Previously worked at IBM India Private Limited as Senior Associate Consultant. He has completed his Bachelor degree of Computer Science and Engineering from Sengunthar Engineering College, Tirchangur. His areas of interest are cloud computing, software integration engineering, and banking sector. He has received a Best Employee of the Year award in 2022 at IBM India Private Limited for the CITI Bank to DBS Bank data migration in banking domain. Also, he got the Best Performance Award from various banks from various countries: Nigeria, Dubai, Taiwan, Mexico, UK, and Singapore. Now, I invite Mr. Vijay Raju sir, Senior Software Engineer, Infosys Bangalore, for sharing his insights and engaging with all of you through interactive discussion. You can proceed, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Kalaimurthy. Yeah. First of all, I would like to say thank you for Sengunthar Institutions and Dr. Saktivel sir, Dr. Sujata madam, then Ashok Kumar sir, then Bhuvana madam from CSE and English department. So I'm very happy to see you all again. Then let me introduce myself. Yeah, myself Vijay Raju. I have completed my bachelor degree in Sengunthar Engineering College, Tirchangood. Then I have started my journey with Infosys and IBM. I was working with two MNC companies. So I have an 6+ year experience in Finacle core banking. In that 6+ year experience, I have worked in many banks like coming to India and as well as the foreign countries. In ICICI Bank, then Canara Bank, then Deutsche Bank, then Indian Overseas Bank. These all are from Indian banks. Coming to foreign banks, I have worked with the first City Minimum Bank, then currently working with the UK Santander Bank. It is in England. So in this all 6 years experience, so it is very pleasure to meet you all again. So let me start with my presentation. So let me share my screen. So anyone can confirm my screen is visible?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your input. So today I am going to present about the cyber security and quantum cryptography. It is very useful and it is very much more important to our normal life also. So our topic is cyber security and quantum cryptography. So coming to this cyber security, I split it into the presentation into two parts. One is the cyber security, the another one is quantum cryptography. Computer security, cyber security, or information technology security is the protection of computer systems, networks from the theft or damage or their hardware, software or electronic data, as well as form of the distributions or misdirections of the service they provide. The field is becoming more important due to the increased reliance of computer systems. The internet and wireless network stands such as Bluetooth and Wi-Fi due to the growth of smart devices, including the smartphones, televisions, the various devices that consist of Internet of Things. Owning its complexity, both the terms of politics and technologies, cybersecurity is also one of the major challenges in the world. Today, many nations and governments are imposing strict laws of cybersecurity in order to prevent prevent the loss of some important informations. Every day, individual must also be trained on this cybersecurity and save themselves from these increasing cyber crimes. So coming to the next slide, cyber crime. How the cyber crime is working and how we need to learn what is the cyber crime. Cyber crime is a term for any illegal activity that uses a computer as its primary means of commissions and theft. The US Department of Justice expands the definitions of cybercrime to include any illegal activity that uses a computer for the storage of evidence. The growing list of cyber crimes includes crimes that have been made possible by computers, such as in network instructions and the disseminations of computer viruses, as well the computer-based variations of type existing crimes, such as identity theft, stalking, bullying, and terrorism, which have become a major problems to people and nations. Usually, in common man's language, cybercrime may be defined as crime committed using a computer and the internet to steal a person's identity or sell contraband or stalk victims to disrupt the operations with the malware to the program. Sorry for the interrupt. Yeah, I'm going to move the next slide. Cybersecurity. Privacy and security of the data will always be top security measures that any organization take care. We are presently we are presently living in a world where all the information is maintained in a digital or a cyber form. Social networking strips provide a scope where users feel safe as they interact with their friend and family. In the case of home users, cyber criminals would continue to target social media sites to steal personal data. Not only the social media networking, but also during the bank transactions, a person must take all the requisite security measures. Coming to the history, yeah, the history says the first recorded cyber crime was recorded in the year of 1820. The first spam email took place in 1978 when it was sent over the ARPANET. The first virus was installed on Apple Computer in 1982. This is the list of cyber crimes includes illegal access. We all know what is illegal access. Illegal interruptions, system interface, data interference, and misuse of device. Fraud, then the last one is using open credentials. Here I can elaborate the illegal access. For an example, nowadays we are using a personal computer or mobile phone with the own credentials. For an example, today I'm going to on leave, so for I'm giving my access to my friend, so it is not illegal. It is not a legal activity. It is considered as illegal activity. Then coming to the second point, illegal interference. Then fraud activity means if we are using the other credentials also, it is called as fraud activity. So using open credentials, we need to avoid the using open credentials also. For an example, we are creating a Gmail account ID for the real-time scenario also. Coming to the business perspective also, we should not use the open credentials like our username, password. It should be protect. Coming to the next slide, how can we protect? Read privacy policy carefully when you submit the data through internet. For an example, I can say from the Google Play Store, we all know whatever app it is user friendly, we are going to download the app for our personal or business informations. For example, we are going to download one application from Google Play Store. Without reading all the data and privacy conditions, just we are giving download and submit button so that it is downloading. But it is not a correct one. We need to read it properly so that we can understand what is the logic and terminologies they are using, whether we are personal data also they are going to capture or not. That and all we need to analyze and we need to read carefully. That is the first one. Coming to the second point, encryption. Lots of websites they are using SSL to encrypt the data. For an example, if we use the malware functions or SSL secure circuit layer, our personal data will be secured. Disabled remote connectivity. Yeah, this is very much important point. Disabled remote connectivity means, for an example, if we are in some other country or we are in some other locations, we need to share our slides or some project works. We should not use the open source like iRemote and all, iRemote control and all. We need to have proper malware plus security software to use the connectivity. While using this, we can protect our data. Otherwise, hackers can easily hack our data. Then coming to the fourth point, never open email attachment from the unknown centers. This can download and install malware on your device. For an example, we are getting some external emails from other organizations as well as from unknown user also. Without knowing this, what is there inside, we should not open it. You can ask me how we know without reading that. How can I know whether it is a fraud message or it is a real message? For that, I can suggest for any external messages coming to your mailbox, we should avoid first of all until and unless someone calling or we need to know what is that. Coming to the next point, never click on the links from unknown centers. For an example, if we click on any unknown links, it may be the hackers can theft your data or personal information, or else your money also from your mobile. So that we should not click that open links. Avoid using unsecured public Wi-Fi. These networks leave you vulnerable to attack. Yeah, this is also one very much important point. We should not use the public Wi-Fi. For an example, if we know and we assure that this is known Wi-Fi, then only we can use. Otherwise, every data will be captured by someone. So the fourth one is use strong unique passwords across all your online accounts. This everybody knows why we need to use the strong passwords, so that others cannot hack our passwords. So use antivirus software. This software will detect and remove threats in real time. Yeah, for an example, in our mobile phone also, in coming to web application also, we have to use antivirus softwares. Otherwise, sometimes our system also will get hanged. This is the reason to we are not using the antivirus. That is the problem. Update your software and operating system to ensure that you have strongest and the most current protections. This is also one more important point. Now coming to advantages of cyber security, it will differ from hackers and virus. The applications of cyber security used in your PC needs update every week. The security developers will update their database every week once. Hence, the new virus also detected. Yeah, I can address this third point. the security developers are always they are working with the backend. Every week or every week twice they used to update the softwares from the backend. Why means everywhere they are monitoring if any new firewall or new virus attacked or not, so that they are giving weekly one patch, so that every time our system will populate something, we need to update. So we have to do carefully update. Protect sensitive personal informations, then protect private and business data, handles data management, provides a business continuity plan, data safety from hackers, improve customers and stakeholders trust, prevention of financial fraud. Yeah, these are all the advantages of cybersecurity. Then how SEC students can create a cybersecurity awareness. Not only the SEC students, I mean to say SEC is the Sengunthar Engineering College. It is common to all. So we have to give some suggestion to the youngest students or faculty also. I can suggest how can we create a cybersecurity awareness means I can suggest creating an Android applications to protect our personal data from the mobile phones. This is one of the option. Coming to the second point, creating web applications to protect our business data. I can say ACC asset. The third one is creating network mail chain to avoid external center attacks. If we follow these three tips, we can provide a good awareness from the cybersecurity side. I'm coming to the first point: creating an Android applications to protect our personal data. We all know how to create an Android application. It is a part of our mobile computing paper. Yeah, it is very simple. And coming to the second point, also the same logic wise, the Android application and web application both are same, only the platform is different, the languages are different, that's it. The third one is create a mail chain. For an example, if we are if I am a student of Sengunthar Engineering College, so there will be a mail chain, and group of the mail chain only I can receive all the mails coming out from the mail chain. So students can create integrations or some awareness applications to avoid the external virus or some malware attacks. So I can suggest these three things to students and faculties also. Whenever students are asking or thinking which topic I can take my final year project, I can suggest. Even I was also asking the same to my faculties. Now I can suggest you can take a cybersecurity awareness as a topic. Which this not only one or two project, we can create a mini project. Means I can say more than 10 projects in a same class also we can take. So any questions about this? So or else I can move the next slide. Because this is a very much important topic in the mobile app application creation and web applications as well as mail chain. So I can address anything.
No questions, sir. We can proceed further.
Thank you. Yeah, coming to next slide, cyber threats. Cyber threats. Digital threats are categorized into three types that are cybercrime, cyber attack, and cyber terrorism. Cybercrime is organized by a person or a group targeting financial profit or disruptions. Cyber attack is mostly driven by political motives, and cyber terrorism is mostly done in massive act to cause certain fear. To make those threats happen, cyber criminals usually use themselves to mitigate. Some of these threats are given by the next slide. So these are all the cyber threats methods. So that the cyber hackers can use the following methods: phishing, malware, SQL injection, backdoor, denial of service attack, direct access attack, spoofing, brute force attack, AI powered attacks, supply chain attacks. Coming to the SQL injection is the very much important. The SQL injection is nothing but some of the developers who are working in Oracle or Android applications or banking domains, so they can easily attack. So mainly the hackers will focus on the money. Next one is personal data. For example, if I have some 1,000 rupees in my account, so hackers easily can identify, they can understand how much amount in my account. Using the SQL injection queries, they will first of all identify my personal informations. Either they want the money or personal information. They can do blackmail, right? They can ask me money, or they can capture my personal data so that they can ask again money. So we need to careful. These are the methods for hacking threats. Coming to the safety tips: use antivirus. We all aware of this safety tips, I hope. Use antivirus software, insert firewalls, pop-up blockers, uninstall unnecessary softwares, maintain backup, check security settings, use secure network connections, open attachments carefully, use strong passwords, don't give personal information unless required. Be careful what you click. Use multi-factor authentication. Manage your social media settings. Report cybercrime in IC3. So if any of the scenario it is happened, we can directly report to the cybercrime. It is called IC3. You can Google it and you can in the real-time scenario I'm telling. Coming to this cyber security network and network settings, yeah, we can have it in the next slide. Cyber security elements: data security, application security, mobile security, network security, endpoint security, then cloud security, database and infrastructure security, business continuity and disaster recovery, data encryption, security awareness and training, incident response and management, information security, operational security. These are all the elements for the cyber security. Why should we care? It's a criminal activity committed on the internet. Cybercrime, where computer is either a tool or a target or both. It protects individuals and organizations from cybercrime. Regulatory compliance, business continuity, data integrity, phishing, and ransomware. So this is the what are all we have sought, that is called cyber security. Then now I am again moving to real time phishing attacks. Yeah, we all know, and you all aware of this SBI attacks happened in 2-3 months back. This is the real time scenario I taken from the website. So if people are don't know, I can explain this. Real time scenario is the SBI bank. There is a hacker. Means the hacker is usually sending that link through social medias. It can be WhatsApp or Facebook or Instagram. So that if we don't know what is the link usually will come with some images like SBI awards. You are going to awarded of 600 rupees, 1,000 rupees, 10,000 like that. If you don't know, or if you click the link, and it will take you into some other website, we will think so it is a direct link, then it is a sure link only, the SBI link, like that we can assure. But finally what will happen means your WhatsApp DP will be changed into SBI logo. Then overall contact, you are having contact for some 100 persons. So 100 persons WhatsApp or social medias also, the link will be automatically sent it to someone. So someone also clicked the same problem will happen. What is the use of this link? Why they are using means they want the ultimate is the money. So they can use this link. They can capture all your credentials, whether it can be mail credentials or Google Pay, Phone Pay, any credential they can easily capture. Based on that, you will lose your money or either personal data, so that they can do the blackmails. So we should be aware of these things. Coming to quantum cryptography. What is quantum cryptography? Quantum cryptography is an effort to allow two users of a common communication channel to create a body of shared and secret information. This information, which generally takes the form of random string bits, can then be used to the conventional secret key for the secure communications. Quantum keys distributions. Quantum key distributions uses quantum mechanics to guarantee secure communications. Quantum key distributions tell us all atoms of eavesdropping. Quantum key distributions is only used to produce and distribute a key, not to transmit any message data. It enables two parties to produce a shared and random bit string, know only them, which can be used in a key, encrypt and decrypt them. OTP. Normally we know OTP is a one-time password, but here one-time pad. One-time pad is an encryption technique that cannot be attacked if used correctly. For an example, Alice and Bob. Alice want to send a message to Bob. Alice typing something. For an example, he is typing "How are you?" So all we know, the plain text will be "How are you?" But while using that OTP method or encryption method, the plain text "How are you?" will be decoded into, using the encryption. It will be coming to some random numbers. It can be 1, 2, 3, or that is functionality. Coming to the encryption, after Bob will receive the plain text again. In between, we know the encryption decryption will be happened. Okay, this is called OTP method. Yeah, advantages. Virtual, I can say the advantages: virtual and unhackable, simple to use, less resources needed to maintain it, used to detect entropy to quantum key distributions. Conclusions. The quantum cryptography is a major achievement in security engineering. As it gets implemented, it will allow perfectly secure bank transactions, credit decisions for government officials, and well-graduated trade secrets for industry. Thank you. If anything, any queries you can ask me for the cyber security and quantum cryptography or menu creations for Android application development and coming to web application development. You can ask any questions. I can address.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I can hear you. Anybody having question?
Sir, suppose the hacker will be sending the one link to my WhatsApp. How do I identify this is a secure one or an unsecured one
Yes,
without
yeah.
touching this link?
Yes, correct. Yeah, actually, if somebody, some links you are getting from external or internal, only the believing persons, for example, your organization means if you are working in some organizations, then it will be secured. If unwanted links, first of all, we need to avoid it, right?
Okay, sir. How did you identify it's a secure one? Nowadays, the hackers are very intelligent. They will send the APCL link like that. Then how
Yes.
did you identify?
Yes, yeah, better I can say. For an example, we don't want any reward from any applications, right? I'm
Okay,
not
sir.
saying
Which
all
one
the
is
links. Yes, yes,
in
I'm
my
not saying
point of
all
view?
the
Which
links.
one is okay,
Sorry,
sir?
sorry.
In my
Yes, go ahead.
in my point of view, the HTTP and HTTPS, which one is very secured one? I think.
Yeah, yeah, all are secured only, but hackers know all the algorithms to how to hack, whether it can be HTTP protocol or some other protocols. So better we should avoid wherever the external links are coming from social medias. First of all, we need to avoid, right? To capture
Oh,
our personal data or money basis also.
okay, sir.
Thank you. Is there any other questions to app development or web applications or cyber security?
Sir, like what is the quantum? We have attached quantum word to that cryptography, sir. What is that, sir?
Yeah. For example, we all know we are sending some messages A to B. For I am sending some messages to my friend. So I know I am just typing "How are you?" So I know only the English word "How are you?" But in between the sender and receiver, there will be encrypt and decrypt will be happened. We all know ASCII values, right? For an example, A means 64, B means 65, C means like that. In the computer logic, I'm telling. Coming to the quantum cryptography, if we use the software, antivirus software also protect our data, it will capture your how are you message, then it will encrypt, then finally it will decrypt into the receiver side. This is the concept, just for encrypt and decrypt the messages to, because hackers should not know, right, what we are sending. This is the higher efficiency they can use this. Are you clear now?
Okay, sir. Clear, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other
So
questions?
thank you, Mr. Vijayaraju, sir.
Thank you. I'm expecting some more questions from you guys for the how to develop or something. Or else I can suggest you guys, all faculties, I can suggest whenever students are coming and they are asking what is the topic I need to take, you can refer the cyber security so that everyone will be in product zone, right? Multiple n number of projects we can create using the, whether it can be Android applications or web development, web application also we can develop. So we can refer this topic. Any other questions? Yeah, Reshma. So you hand raised. Can you ask your question? So faculties don't have any questions? Or so they need to elaborate anything for the particular topic?
Sir, can give the some interesting topic about firewall?
Yes, you means the system firewall, which you are asking in system domain.
A system firewall.
Yes, we have lots of firewalls when we are using. For example, if I am a part of Infosys, so I have two laptops. In my two laptops, I cannot send any mail to outside. So due to this firewall only, I cannot open even any links. For the simple text also, I cannot take it out. I cannot pull it inside the laptop. That is called firewall. We can have a mini firewalls from the open source also. We can download it. If you are particularly in some organizations, definitely they should take care of about the firewall. Then only the business continuity will happen.
Okay, sir. Using the firewall, we are prevent from the cyber attack.
Yes, correct. Yes, sure.
Okay, sir.
If you are using the firewall, it will always protect your entire computer things. Means without this, if any links you are clicking, the firewall should know whether it is mm, known or unknown persons, so that the firewall will disable the link, or else it will block the link directly. Instead of going inside and we are giving our personal data, it will directly block you. That is the use of firewall.
Okay, sir.
So I request all you, you can use the firewall from the desktop applications as well Android application also. If you are using the authentication app from mobile also, you can download it from Google Play Store. There is a app called authentication app. Whenever you are using this app, you need to give two-factor authentications, so that unless and until you are opening the app, somebody cannot open the other applications like social media or app application also. We cannot log in without your credentials. So better we can use all. So currently I'm using the same authentication two-factor multi-factor authentication app only, because currently I'm working in a banking domain. So I should protect all my data, so personal, even official data also I should protect, right? So it is helpful for others also. You can refer the authentication app from Google Play Store if you are using Android applications.
Okay, sir.
Even iMobile also it will work. Any other question? I would like to have a questions from you guys, instead of giving a presentation so too much more slides. So in the real time example, I can explain you how it is working, the cryptographic and cyber security. Then application, how to create the applications in technically also I can suggest you.
Okay, so what's the difference between spyware and ransomware?
Sorry, you were particularly talking about some insight that cyber security.
Yes, sir. Sir, I already told you the ransomware, I think, in previous slides.
Yes, correct.
Can you give us some details about ransomware and also the spyware?
Yes, Fiverr and ransomware is both are same, but a different platform. It can be, for example, if you are using Android applications to create a, XML coding, and ransomware is also the same one only. I can say it is also protect your data for in Windows users only. Both are Windows users only.
Okay, sir.
Sir, what are the common attacks we will face while during using the applications? What are the common attacks we will face, sir?
Yes, correct. For an example, if you are using any Windows application, I can say Windows applications, maybe first of all, hackers will identify who are in online first. For an example, if you are using Windows applications, if you already data leakage is happening, right? Whenever we are working in organizations or banking or some other domain also, our anywhere our data leakage is happening, so that hackers will identify our not only personal data, our work data also. They can identify that. Based on that, they used to send there are multiple ways to attack the data and monies. Either it can be link, either it can be a image. For an example, they used to send one image like SBI logo. If you touch the SBI logo directly, it will protect you, it will take you to the SBI, as I said, the same SBI applications. We will know, we will know that okay, this is the original application only. We will have some reward, some, it can be 1,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees. Then again they will ask you to provide your password, user ID passwords. For an example, if you give your Google user ID password also, I can able to deduct some money from your account, because we are using Google Pay, Phone Pay. Whenever we are using, we are giving our Gmail ID as the primary user ID, right? So that easily we can attack. So whenever we are giving credentials, we should be careful in any application, I am saying. And whenever we are opening the Google or desktop applications, we should be logged off, and we should make sure that every at the end of the day we are disclosing everything.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Like while accessing any application in website links, or is there any like how can we check whether it is a genuine one or a fake one? How can we identify that, sir?
Yes, yeah, we have to read that conditions and rules and regulations properly. We have that agreements, like whether if I want to download a single application from Google Play Store, there is a terminologies, right? We need to agree, then only it is downloading, right? So every softwares they're providing, we need to check that backend sources, like in that ratings or somewhere that agreement only we have to see whether it is a coming to the banking sector, there will be a RBI approved applications. So RBI approved applications, so we have to download it. Coming to this transaction payments from the Google Pay, Phone Pay also, we have to read it carefully. In somewhere, definitely they should mention we will take your personal data for some other purpose, like that they used to mention. We need to read carefully, so that we are I'm not using any out payment method like Google Pay, Phone Pay. Always we need to go for that web applications only, so that it will be secure. So I can say for every individual application, when we are downloading from Google Play Store, there will be a terminology and condition. We need to read carefully whether it is approved one or it is not approved, so that we can able to download. So better I can suggest everyone can use web applications with a particular bank. If I'm using the Axis Bank, yeah, I need to secure my data and personal and money wise means I need to go for web applications. And mobile application also, access the particular bank is okay. Coming to the third party applications like Paytm, everything is not a secured one compared to the original applications, I can say.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Hi, sir.
Can you please suggest what kind of tool I can able to which will be useful to work on cyber security if I am starting it initially?
Correct. Okay. Good question. I appreciate you. Yeah. For an example, you were asking about web applications, or it can be a handheld application. Which one you want to learn from the starting?
Anything. Well, for both you can tell, sir.
Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, for example, you are very much pressure about to create a web applications or Android applications. Means first of all we need to design the layout. Without knowing the languages, we can able to design, right? For an example, I'm the very much pressure. I don't know the language and all. From the computer perspective, I'm telling. First of all, I need to design a layout. What should be my first page? It can be criteria page or detail page or result page. There will be certain pages called criteria, detail, and result page. For example, I want to create one web application using 3 pages. My first pages will be some details. Basically, I want to create one payment, one transaction menu I need to create, for an example. So what are all the things required? I need to drop it through the paper also. First of all, I need to give my name. So what is the name? What is the field we have to use? So like that we can drop one map. So after that we need to think which language we have to use. If it is a web applications, we have to go for .NET. Then backend is a Oracle. If it is a Android application, also same logic, but the logic will be different. Like logic wise same, but I can say the language wise different. XML coding we have to use from the Android applications. The backend is both are same coding like Oracle. Coming to banking side applications, we have to use Oracle and Postgres also. This is the different types of softwares we have to use when we are developing a new menu or new applications. So I can say again, we have to analyze what are all the things we are going to use first. We have to drop a map. Then based on that, we need to search which language we are going to use. I can suggest you, if you want to develop any web applications, you can go with uh, .NET and Oracle codings. If you come to Android applications, I can suggest you same .NET and Oracle. We can do both. Extra the XML headers will come for the Android applications. Are you doubt clear? Or still you want to more?
Yes, 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 sir.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
So finally I can drop out my mail inside the chat box. If anybody having any questions or initially how to start the Android applications or web applications, which language I need to use, you can mail me. I can answer your questions. I am always ready to answer the questions. Any other questions, faculty members?
Sir, to go for cyber security jobs, what technologies we have to learn? Sir?
Okay, coming to the cyber security, for example, you have to the same only. What technology means? Coming to Python also you can learn cyber security. Even Python is doing now everything in the menu creations as well as the cyber security protection also. Coming to the organization side, I can say like I am working in Infosys. So here many teams are working. Like IST means security team, CGST also security team. So if you coming into these organizations, you can learn any languages. All are from Python only. Python, it can be backend. I can say Oracle only. So better you can take Python language.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yeah. Oracle is the common for every database. Means Oracle and Postgres. There are two database and cloud computing also. We can use mostly Oracle only for banking sector as well as the menu creations everywhere. Android or it can be desktop applications. I mean Windows applications. Yeah, backend is the only for database is the Oracle only. So it is very simple to learn it Oracle. It is a very big one, but to learning it is very easy for freshers. It is a single line coding only. Okay, let me share my mail ID, personal mail ID in this chat box. If anybody want to discuss anything or if you have any doubt from the particular applications, so you can mail me, I can answer it. Yeah, if you don't have any questions, we are good to close these conversations. Thank you everyone, and thanks for giving this opportunity, wonderful opportunity to see you all again. Yeah, again, once again, I am thankful for Dr. Sujata madam and Dr. Saktivel sir, Mr. K. Ashok Kumar sir, then Bona madam. So thank you, madam.
Thank you, Mr. Vijayarajah, for this insightful session. Your knowledge and expertise have provided us with valuable insights into harnessing AI, supercomputing, and quantum computing for technological breakthroughs. So, once again, I thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Vijay,
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
for a wonderful session. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Vijay.
Thank you,
Thank you.
madam.
Okay, okay. Super.
Yeah, thanks, madam. Sujata, madam, can I drop here, or is there any other questions? Madam?
Thank you, sir. Ashok, sir.
Yes, ma'am. The vote of thanks.
Yes, give your
I
vote
would
of
like
thanks.
to I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to our beloved correspondent, sir, and principal, sir, and respective faculty members and participants for making this event possible. Your active participation and support are what drive us forward. Before we conclude, I would like to remind all participants to kindly join us tomorrow for sessions. Your active participation is highly encouraged. Thank you once again, and we look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Thank you, participants. So kindly fill your feedback, two sessions feedback. Already we have posted the session one feedback. Now we are going to post the session two feedback. So kindly fill your feedbacks.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We are we can see on tomorrow session at 6 o'clock.
Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you, Vijay.